Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing another Sims build today. Today we're going to be building a starter house, meaning that we started this build with only 20,000. So the actual plot costs 2,000 to buy, and then everything else that you're going to be seeing is built with only 18,000 simoleons. And this was due to a comment that we got on the last video. And if you want your comment featured in the next video, make sure to leave a comment and I'll always credit you if you give me the idea. So basically, for this house, the sim here that you see at the front is an elderly man, and so it's just him living in this house. So it's going to be one bedroom, one bathroom, pretty small, and a little bit on the run down side, a little bit rugged, because I picture this sim is like a plant sim, not a plant sim, but he enjoys gardening and stuff like that. So I picture him not having the fanciest house. I will be doing more starter houses though that are a bit on the fancier side. I'm thinking more of an apartment starter place because you can go a long way with apartments since you don't even actually have to build the structure of the house. So I start off with the outside and I want to I don't want it just to be a box. I find that's what I used to do when I built houses from scratch, is always just build them as a box. So I really tried to make it a little bit of a different shape. The only problem with that is finding a good roof to fit on the top here. I'm sure that there was probably better ways to do it, and I just don't know how, but I kind of just did what I thought was the best. So the plan here was to kind of make it look cottagey, but not super cottagey because obviously it's not really a cottage. So you'll see I first start with making it kind of stone on the outside, but I do change that to have just the part of the house that's sticking out covered in stone, and I'll do the second half of the house which has the entrance just as siding. I'm not sure if I liked it, but I couldn't make it so that at the back of the house for some reason when you color the roof with the stone pattern, it does it on the front and the back. You can't have those be a separate material. So that's why I chose to do it this way. And this house is just one story. Basically for this deck kind of part, I wanted to make it wood to make it seem that maybe he built the deck, even though maybe that's not 100% how it works or whatever. So that's why I ended up changing the fence so I could kind of match it to one of the floorings without making the flooring like a super white wood because I just thought it would look a little bit weird. So that's why I do change the fence. But now that I look at it from the outside or like after it's done, I don't know if I like that new fence that I had. I think I preferred the kind of white fence. So here I'm just mapping out the house. The back left is going to be a bathroom and the back right is going to be the bedroom. I do kind of adjust it as I build because I realized I didn't really leave enough room for the kitchen living room at the front area there. And you'll see that I kind of use this wallpaper that looks a little bit old and moldy, I guess it kind of looks at the bottom. Um, and the reason I did this is because I picture this sim has lived here for basically all his life. He's a single male. He would kind of have not a big reason to move. He doesn't really have family. So that's kind of the reason why I made the wallpaper look a little bit older, because it didn't really save me money. I could have done the newer wallpaper, and I think they're both like $4 or so, or whatever, too. So yeah, and I do use kind of the cheapest shower and toilet, and obviously I know that this stuff will break if you play the game a lot, but I figure he can upgrade those if he needs it, or that he would be handy enough to continuously fix these objects when they break. And these windows were awkward to cover because of the size. I feel like all the blinds and curtains are like too big for it. Um, and this there that I just put as a mat for the shower, I think that's really a dog mat. that came with the Sim like Pets expansion pack. But I figured it kind of looked good as a shower mat, so that's what I used it for. So I keep the bathroom pretty simple. I actually was able to get more decorations in there than I thought. And I was kind of worried actually after I finished the bathroom that maybe I put too much stuff and that I would run out of money. But I actually ended up with more money than I thought in the end, and I was able to add in some stuff around the house. Also, as per the comment that was featured at the beginning, I am going to try to use green in this build because that was also suggested. I think the suggestions were meant to be for separate videos, but I thought to challenge myself, I would take all the suggestions that the person gave and I put them all into one video because you know what? I like a challenge. And so again, as I mentioned in the last video, I was having a hard time matching the bed frame to the side table and the other furniture. So I end up going with this dark color. The only thing I forgot to add in the bedroom was a wardrobe because I was kind of waiting to the end to see if I had enough money. And I could have added it at the end, but I just kind of forgot. So as of right now, I'm going like what you see here is not how the kitchen ends up being because I make the bedroom a little bit smaller so that we have more space for the kitchen. And again, I use the kind of more rundown looking cupboards. So I just feel like after all this time of him living there, that would be the most realistic for this sim. And this So don't worry, you don't see cupboards right now, but I was able to add them in at the end because I did have enough money, which really made me happy. Because when I was first building, I was like, darn it, I'm not gonna be able to add like cabinets up at the top, but I was able to. So for the living room here, it's very tiny. Obviously, one of the most expensive items in this build was the TV stand. I just thought this TV stand was like perfect for the character and it just fit him well. So I was willing to kind of splurge on that. And you'll see in this build the TV is sized up, but not while I was recording. I had to size it back down to the original size because it was sticking out the window and I couldn't have that. So I was willing to just sacrifice the size of the TV and just have it little. So obviously we do a nice kind of grandmothery couch because that's, his style. He likes that stuff. And I do make sure to add as many plants as I can in the build because he does love the outdoors and he loves gardening. And if you just saw there, I didn't have the move objects cheat on all game because I wanted to try to build without it, but I do end up having to turn it on to be able to place those curtains on the left and the right of the centerpiece. I don't know why I couldn't place those normally. It didn't seem like it would be like blocked at all, but sometimes the game's just that way. So you have to turn on the move objects cheat. I feel like it's a must in building and there's nothing wrong with it. And so this is just the front area. Just added some decorations because I realized I had a lot of money left over and I would be able to spruce up the place. So I basically just add a shoe rack. I'll add a little, I'm looking for it right now because I forget what category it was in, but I wanted to add the rack with like the jacket and the hat on it. So yeah, you'll see me add that and I add some gardening stuff because he needs his gardening tools close by. I also didn't give him a computer, but I gave him a desk in the bedroom. I'm just thinking about that now. But I guess if he's like a really outdoorsy person, he wouldn't be on the computer much. He might just have a desk to do some little like tinkering or whatever at it. So, you know what? It's all good. So yeah, I'll just add in basically a table just to finish up this area with some papers like I always do and some nice pictures of fruit because gardeners love fruit. And I'm trying to remember what I do for these curtains. Oh yeah, I just find those little like tacky things that just are at the top that are really just for decoration. And I just realized I didn't add any frames in here. So I do that at the end. I just add in like one or two maybe. I don't even know. And I actually really like the way these cabinets turned out. I just feel like it fit pretty well to the space. So for the outside, I keep it pretty simple. I add some chairs to the patio. You're gonna see me add a little bit of a garden in the front yard and some trees and pathways. I just want to thank everyone for watching. We're getting close to the end, and like always, we're going to have screenshots at the end if you want to see some pictures of the finished build. If you enjoyed the video, please like or comment. Maybe subscribe if you'd like to see more. I will be posting more often if I can. I'm almost done with my schooling, so I'll be able to post more. And thanks again for watching. Bye.